Hi everyone, this is Pastor Joel with the Three Things Thursday for June 3rd, 2021. Number one, this Sunday we begin a new sermon series for the month of June. It's about lessons we've learned during the pandemic. A lot of us have experienced losses. I think all of us have experienced loss to some degree over this past year. In the book of Job, right near the end of the story, one of Job's friends urges Job to pray and to say these words, "Teach me, God, what I cannot see." And I think that's the prayer I would like us to be praying for as a church. Teach us, Lord, what we cannot see. I think that as we are looking ahead and we see light at the end of the tunnel, we're hoping that 70% of everyone aged 12 and up will have their first vaccination by the end of June. And I'm hoping we can do more in-person events starting in the fall. And as we look forward to that, I think we've learned a lot of lessons. And so what are some of these lessons that we have learned? You know, C.S. Lewis in his book, The Screwtape Letters, he writes this, talking about the importance of Christians coming through these valleys and these tough times. We come through better on the other side if we remain faithful. And so if you don't know the book, this is there's a senior demon who has a junior demon under his wings, and the junior demon's been assigned to this believer, and he's trying to do things to stop the believer from growing in his faith. And so the senior demon, Wormwood, says, now it may surprise you to learn that in God's efforts to get permanent possession of a soul, he relies on the troughs, on the valleys, even more than the peaks. Some of his special favorites have gone through longer and deeper troughs than anyone else. I'm sure you've noticed that too when you've met someone who seems to be very spiritually mature, and then you find out about their story and you realize they've been through lots of valleys in the past and have come through stronger on the other side. And so that is my prayer, and I believe that will happen for Cornerstone. I think our church will come out stronger in the end. But what are some of these lessons? So I have emailed a select few people and asked them what are some lessons you have learned during the pandemic, and I will share some of those this Sunday. But now, number two, I would like you to let me know, what have you learned? What has God been teaching you during the pandemic? I think it would be an encouragement to all of us. Would you please send me an email? Just reply to the email and let me know what are some ways that God has been teaching you? What are some lessons that you have learned during this pandemic? And number three, I want to direct your attention to our website. We have updated it with some resources in light of the horrific findings at the Kamloops Indian Residential School of those 215 children, remains of children there. We need to learn. When I grew up, we didn't learn about this in our schools. My children learn about this a lot in the schools today, so the education has changed. But there's a reading list that if you haven't seen yet, I want to show it to you. So there's books that you can read just to educate yourself on what is going on. That's on our website. Also, our denomination has put out a statement, and we're taking those words as our own words. You can see the statement that we are standing behind and that our church has made. And then lastly, several years ago, our denomination put together a Truth and Reconciliation prayer guide. And there's some really good ideas there, and that will also be there for you. So I want to direct your attention to there. So, new sermon series starting this Sunday. Number two, please send me the ways that God has been teaching you something during the pandemic. And number three, go to our website and check out those new resources. Thanks. See you on Sunday.